Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dimension Scott back at you once again with a brand new video, and today I'm going to continue the idea I did a couple of months back where I talk about at least 5 movies that I loved but everybody hated. If you're new to the channel and you don't know what my videos are all about, I love talking about things I'm passionate about. Blu-rays, DVDs, video games, making shopping vlog videos. You can also find me over on Facebook and Instagram as usual, Dimension Scott. If you're into all that type of stuff and you love physical media like me, you're in the right place. Please consider hitting the like button and subscribe button if you like what you see. Okay, so if you've been watching my YouTube channel, you probably remember I did a video a little while back. I was talking about movies that people despised and hated, but to me, I found my own appreciation out of those movies, like Dark Phoenix, Suicide Squad, Star Wars, and many others. That video also did inspiration that they wanted to do videos like that on their channels, like Ray and Daniel. Please go subscribe to their channels. They have really great channels. And for a while I thought about it, and I think this will be a worthy series to do on my channel, and I've only chosen 5 so that way I can leave the door open for maybe a part 3. So this is just going to be my part 2 where I pick out 5 movies that I really enjoy for myself, while others who I like to watch and talk movies all the time, that they did not work for them at all. But like I said, I found my own personal appreciation out of them, and let's get right into it. At number 5, I went with Wonder Woman 1984. That's right. So Wonder Woman 1984 focuses on Wonder Woman Diana herself with her emotions after the events of Steve's sacrifice at the end of the first movie. Now, I think this is a fun 1980s movie, and it brings back that beautiful chemistry between Diana and Steve. And I know people complained about why is Steve in another man's body and raping him. If I can just say whatever to all of that and just watch, the 2 actors in those scenes, I don't want to butcher their names wrong, but Steve and Diana enjoying their fun time back together after his sacrifice is still great. And I think the movie does deliver some fun action. You have Maxwell Lord and Cheetah in this movie, and Patty Jenkins, who is a big fan of the Richard Donner Superman movies, brought that kind of magic tone to this movie as well. So for what it is, it's entertaining and it's enjoyable for what it is, with very strong emotional connections between Diana and Steve. At number 4, I went with Godzilla, King of the Monsters. If you remember, a lot of people said Godzilla 2014 did not have enough Godzilla, even though it was still a well-directed movie. But you have Godzilla, King of the Monsters, where they were like, okay, you thought we didn't have enough Godzilla in that film? Well, your wish is our command. We're going to give you tons of kick-ass Godzilla with the next movie. Godzilla, he's going at it. He rises again, going at it against the 3-headed dragon-looking creature. It's beautiful, colorful. It's visually great. Godzilla has to work together with the humans to take down these foes that are terrorizing the whole world. You may not like the humans, but because nobody likes humans in these monster movies. But Godzilla, King of the Monsters, to me, is a fun, entertaining popcorn movie with a lot of fun Godzilla action. With humans I think they're fine. Some of them are played by some really familiar cast, like Millie Bobby Brown. And I think for what it is, it's entertaining because I'm a big Godzilla guy. I like watching Godzilla fight and tear up buildings, and that was not enough played out in Godzilla 2014. So they were like, we're gonna give you tons of epic Godzilla action if that's what you're into. If you like watching Godzilla go up against other monsters and tearing up buildings and that epic atomic breath, then maybe you're not disappointed. Number 3, Thor: The Dark World. That's right. If you're a Marvel fan, a lot of Marvel fans have Thor: The Dark World as their bottom of any other Marvel movie up until like Captain Marvel and maybe other recent Marvel movies. But I think for the longest, people had Thor: The Dark World, which I could not quite understand why. Now, this is not the best Marvel movie. Every Marvel movie does not have to be the greatest of all time by any means. So I think for whatever that reason is, why they have that at the bottom of their list, I guess they were expecting too much. But to me, Thor: The Dark World, I saw with my dad, and I realized that it actually feels like Game of Thrones. In fact, it was directed by someone who worked on Game of Thrones. I think Thor: The Dark World, for what it is kind of quite decent, with the return of Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Natalie Portman, who did not return for Thor 3 until Love and Thunder. They all Chris Hemsworth and his chemistry with Natalie Portman is still on point, and I think that it's visually great. It does the set piece looks like Game of Thrones, because like I said, it was directed by the same guy one of the directors who worked on Game of Thrones. It's kind of funny. It's kind of nice, fun pacing. And like I said, it feels like Game of Thrones. I keep saying Game of Thrones, but Thor: The Dark World doesn't have the greatest villain. It has one of the most forgettable villains in MCU. I don't know what other villain will ever be as forgettable than whoever that was in this movie. I even heard some people say they'd rather watch Thor: The Dark World before they ever watched Thor and Love and Thunder ever again. That's fine. I didn't mind Thor: Love and Thunder. But to me, Thor: The Dark World is a nice pace of a Marvel movie that I can go back and want to whenever I want. Sometimes I even prefer this movie over the first one, and that might be an unpopular opinion. Let me know. Number 2, unpopular opinion, Birds of Prey. Harley Quinn breaking up with the Joker. This is our solo movie. If this was more titled Harley Quinn instead of Birds of Prey, maybe that title would have made better sense. But you have Harley Quinn. After she breaks up with the Joker, she's free roaming, and she meets a team of other characters who would then supposed to be set up as the Birds of Prey, which we don't know if we're gonna get a continuation of that. But on its own, I think it's so much fun for Harley Quinn. The action that it was actually worked on some of the creators who did John Wick. Yeah, it's fun. For this movie alone, just for Harley Quinn and some of the Birds of Prey who would like Huntress, Black Canary, is really fun entertainment. And you also have Black Mask in this movie, which I don't understand what a lot of people were expecting, but I think all the performances were like, everyone was having a great time working on this movie. Unfortunately, this was one of the movies that I remember seeing in the theaters shortly before COVID happened. So the movie did not gross so much money. We don't know if we're going to get any continuation from this, maybe continuity of DC Universe movies. But Birds of Prey, I enjoy for what it is. I really had a really blast with this movie for Harley Quinn, the action, and the female characters, Black Canary, Huntress, and others. Before I get into number 1, I'm reminding you, if you like what you see, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you like what you see and you adore physical media. One audible mention here, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Don't hate me. Amazing Spider-Man 2 has so much great Spider-Man action. Peter Parker continues being Spider-Man and wants to continue his relationship with Gwen Stacy. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's great. I think it really fits so well because, back then, Andrew and Emma Stone were actually together at a point. But yeah, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Peter Parker Spider-Man is going up against a worker who works for the same company along with his old friend Harry Osborn. They all both work for Oscorp. They become accidental villains that go up against Spider-Man. He has to stop them with the help of Gwen Stacy and the city. Oh, and let's not forget, this movie has great score by Hans Zimmer, who is probably, in my opinion, one of my favorite scores working today. his scores are really, really epic to listen to from time to time. Dark Phoenix, The Dark Knight, Gladiator, the Spider-Man movies, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, and others. But the Amazing Spider-Man 2, a lot of people didn't like because of some studio meddling probably behind this movie, because they were going to set up a continuity with this movie. Unfortunately, the movie probably was not successful as much as they wanted to, and I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 on its own is quite underappreciated and is better than what people make it out to be, better than what people say about it. You know, you have Andrew Garfield, you have Emma Stone, you have the visuals, you have the action, you have the score in this movie. It's pretty dang good. And Gwen Stacy, wait till you see what happened at the end of Gwen Stacy. It is one of the saddest moments ever. At number 1, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. That's right, probably most despised, most hated Terminator in the franchise. After the growing success of Terminators 1 and 2 by James Cameron, many said, well, there's no more good Terminators movies because no more James Cameron is involved. So Terminator 3 without James Cameron was produced without him. But I think, to me, Arnold Schwarzenegger returns as the badass hero killing machine, and you have a new foe that goes back in time to kill not only John Connor but his second in command and wife, called the TX, played by Christina Loken, who was probably a really underrated performer in this movie. And so T3 follows that formula. An evil foe from the future goes back in time to fulfill its computer mission to kill the leaders of the resistance in the future. I think it's fun and action-packed. Is it maybe a little goofy? Yes. But it has a lot of great action, and it has some likable characters, and I think the TX in this movie is a really smarter, intelligent foe that I think deserves a bit more respect. So there we have it. Those were my top 5 with one honorable mention. Movies that I will forever defend, but others really hated, despised, didn't like it all. Video for you guys. That was a new top list for me. If you guys like what you see, hit the like button and subscribe. If you love physical media and all that type of stuff, Blu-rays, DVDs, and video games and shopping vlog videos, you come to the right place. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Keep physical media alive. Oh, and let me know down below which ones you love, which ones you hated. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Take care.